We go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. That sound means it's another episode of the Scoreboard Addicts podcast. I'm Nick. With me, as always, is TJ. And you know what? I'm not even going to play it because it's been that way for a little bit.
It's true.
But
listen, it's really sad what happened to Rook. He was arrested crossing the border. We actually have no contact with him. They sent him to Guantanamo Bay. But he seems to be having fun. We saw some pictures. He's part of a pyramid.
All this time, I thought he was.
A burlap sack over his head.
Really, his nickname's been Coyote this whole time.
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, you find things out about people that you didn't know.
Yeah, messed up.
Last of the Mexicans.
Yeah, he tried to make it over, and unfortunately,
denied.
So
it's true. His paperwork wasn't,
excellent.
But he knew how to throw a party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of strange characters always floating around his house. Crazy tattoos, limbs missing. Jersey stuff.
It's wild. It's wild to find out that he was.
You're a phony.
Big fat phony.
Yeah, the lawyer was just his code name.
That's true. Yeah, and you know what though? He will be missed.
I will remember you.
Now he's dead. Took a weird turn. Wow.
But I'm sitting here drinking this, and this is not a plug at all because I'm about to badmouth this Hawk City Ale from what's that fucking brewery called?
I don't know. You tell me. It should be on the can.
The one in Staten Island.
Flagship?
Yeah.
No good?
I'm not a fan of Flagship in general. Their beers taste the same. Just not a fan.
I like some of their like seasonal brews. I like their darker beers, their coffee stouts and stuff like that. I happen to like anything that they make usually like the fruited IPAs, the hazy IPAs or anything sour, right up my alley. But yeah, I got to give a plug to we're throwing up the Staten Island breweries. I really like Killsborough Brewery. I like what they got to offer. Their beers are ridiculous, and they always have they always come out with something crazy. It's amazing. They're always mixing it up. So definitely check them out. What?
Do you know what a kill is?
Isn't it like a small waterway?
Yeah, it's a friggin' stream.
Huh.
It is a stream. Good call.
Good call.
Yeah, unlike the stream that they found Rook floating in. The Rio Grande claimed another one.
I got to get that.
He didn't even get to see number 62. I mean, what a. I
got to get the Ricochet thing going on. So, almost got another one there.
You get closer every time.
Every time. But
dude, there is. Speaking about ricochets and jokes, there is nothing better. And obviously, it's before our, before we were born. But whatever that speech was, I believe it was one of the RNC things that Reagan did. A balloon popped in the background, and without skipping a beat, he just looked at the camera and went, "Missed me." Great.
That's always a good time, isn't that right, Mr. Scream?
All right.
So big week of sports just passed us by.
Buddy.
It's so tempting every week to talk about what do we call it when something happens? Recency bias. right? It's so tempting
Yeah.
to go with what exactly happened 5 minutes ago, as opposed to starting from the beginning. But I am going to resist, and I'm going to start from the beginning.
Do it.
And the beginning is Sunday at Raceway Park. No, just kidding. Nobody goes to Raceway Park.
I don't even know if it
Sunday-
exists anymore.
I don't think it does. But point being is Sunday, obviously, NFL football. And I got to say, I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, a lot of games happened. Some would call it an upset. But my and TJ's New York Jets. Oh, wait, hold on. Before we get into any of that real quick, we got word from Coach Mike Westhoff. And unfortunately, obviously, he received some property damage down there. He does live in Fort Myers, and he did receive some property damage. But Coach and his assistant, Denise, they are alive and well, and that's always great to hear. And I'm glad to hear it. I was glad to hear from them. And
the New England Patriots are at home for Week 5.
Oh, wait, I
Pats
ruined
fans.
something just now. The New England Patriots.
What happened?
Yeah, that was just weird. Sorry about that. But coach is doing well, and that's good too. So, but we'll get into Week 4, which just passed us. Do you see any things that really surprised you?
So it's funny when we were doing our picks, me, Rook, and Matt. We were doing our picks for the week. I actually picked against and it almost was like I was building myself up for the letdown. Zach Wilson's first game back. I figured he'd have a little bit of, rust to break off. And you didn't see any of it, dude. He stepped right in. He moved with the pocket, which you didn't get from Flacco. I mean, as the pocket collapsed, he was rolling out. He did exactly what you'd expect a nimble quarterback, a young quarterback to do, and see the play develop. And when the play breaks, just go with the flow, move with the pocket as the pocket's breaking in one way, you move outside, roll out. Finally, we have a quarterback that can achieve first downs on third down plays. It's always nice to see, a team able to execute 3 and 4 down sets. Because with Flacco, it was the first or second down or nothing, unfortunately. And I was very happy to see him back. I was happy that my pick fell through. I thought it was a great game, dude. I saw a lot from him that I liked a lot. I think it's one game. I think that progression it kept going from last year. Towards the end of the season, we saw a lot of stuff that we like to see. He stopped, throwing as many interceptions. He stopped, with it was very tough for him to, connect people on the run and on the fly. It seemed that his receivers had to kind of stop and wait for the ball, or almost like a lot of back shoulder throws on crossing routes. But he seemed, very much in time with his throws this week. And to beat the Steelers I mean, it's not something the Jets are known to do. So I loved it. Yeah, what was it? Twice so far?
That's the second win in the history of the NFL that the Jets have had in Pennsylvania. Not just in Pittsburgh, but in the state of Pennsylvania. The New York Jets have only won twice, and I got to see one of them. Feels pretty good. I mean,
it's nice.
I'm pretty sure the other one was within the last 20 years. I'm pretty sure I saw the first one too. But it's been a long time coming, and usually when Steelers fans they travel in hordes to MetLife. I've been to Jets Steelers at MetLife, and it's embarrassing.
They travel.
It's honestly embarrassing. The thing that
we traveled well this week, I think. I did, dude. Jets Nation was there. They were rowdy. They were all into it. So
yeah, he cleaned up in the fourth quarter a lot, and a lot of people will point to his completion percentage and say, "Oh, well, his completion percentage sucked." Well, his line had him running that for his life every single. He was under pressure a lot. I think when AVT moved over to left tackle, it tightened up quite a bit. But he only got sacked one time. I was shocked.
Yeah,
I felt like he almost got sacked at least 5 times.
It's funny too, because we've been talking about this all season and last season. It's funny how sports media likes to pick and choose what they want to harp on. And if you're going to talk about completion percentage, just throw up Justin Fields stats, and everybody loves him. Everybody's in love with the guy. And then completion stats and his yards gained, and it's like, this guy's good? He is? Oh, okay.
Fields, you realize that Cooper Kupp has more receptions than Justin Fields has completions.
It's insane.
I think Cooper Kupp has like 40 catches or something, and Justin Fields only has 32 completions to this point. And that's in 4 games played. Zach Wilson, by comparison, has 18 completions in 1 game. Now, granted, Zach Wilson didn't play a great game. By any stretch, I don't think he played a great game. I think they won because of him, though.
I think he played a great game. Listen, the numbers might not be there, but I think he played a great game because they got the win. They did what they needed to do. He moved the ball down the field. I mean, they took the opportunities that they needed to take, and they scored more points. What else do you want? We could sit here and play Monday morning quarterback and pick apart the things that he didn't do well, but he played well enough to win the game. And the Steelers are no easy task to roll into Steeltown and win. So, I'll take it.
The one thing that I did notice about the game, the first interception that he threw, it wasn't a brain fart. That's the scary stuff. When somebody has an interception and you're just looking at it and you're going, that's a brain fart. You didn't see that guy there. You didn't play the game the right way. You messed it up, blah, 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 whatever. That's one thing. He just overthrew it. That's it.
Yeah.
You can deal with mechanical mistakes, like
especially when you miss the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, and preseason too. I mean, so I could deal with I overthrew the guy not because it slipped out of my hand or I let him too much. You could deal with that shit. It's when he didn't see the guy. That's when you're like, oh, okay, you're just not reading the defense.
Right.
And I felt like the broadcast was trying to say, oh, he doesn't see him there. I'm like, oh, he totally saw him there. He missed his hole. That's all. I mean, if a pitcher can do it from 60 feet 6 inches with a ball that's only 9 inches in diameter, or excuse me, in circumference, I'm fairly certain that missing a football by 3 feet on a 40-yard pass is forgivable. I get it. You want him to be perfect every pass. It's just not going to happen sometimes. Sometimes you overthrow the guy, not because you didn't see the safety over his head, but simply because you overthrew him, and that's it. Like, it slipped out of your hand. You put a little extra mustard on there. You didn't need it. Hold the relish,
Dude, again, it's the things that the sports media wants to pick apart. I have yet to hear them tear, Trevor Lawrence a new asshole, and the guy deserves it. The guy deserves it on a weekly basis. Yeah. I mean, number 1 pick, the second coming of John Elway, apparently, and it's just you don't see it. You do not see them pick apart his game. You do not see them start to stack up hey, is he the guy or is he a bust? It's just not said ever. It's always, well, look at the team around him, X, Y, and Z. Dude, look at the team that had Zach Wilson had around him last year.
I just want to point out Trevor Lawrence is against the Eagles, 11 for 23, 174 yards. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Am I supposed to be impressed by that?
No, I know. I mean, home about.
I mean, that's not good. You expect that from Zach Wilson? Shit. No, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. And you're right. They're not giving any hate toward Trevor Lawrence at all. Again, he plays in a small market. They're not expecting to win anything ever, like in the history of mankind. Like, I don't understand how they're still a football team. Their division sucks, so anybody can win it over there. But I mean, the Eagles beat them 29-21. Honestly, it was closer than it should have been. I don't know why the Eagles only won by 8 against a performance like that. When you have their starting quarterback putting up 11 for 23, 174 yards, it's like, dude, like what was going on there? You know what I mean? Honestly, take a look at those numbers for that entire game. 174 yards in the air, 70 yards on the ground, maybe, and they're still in the game. And if you're looking at it that way, then you got to throw it up to actually. I don't know why that's so close, dude. Jalen Hurts, 16 for 25, 204. Miles Sanders, 27 carries, 134 yards on the ground by himself, not to include the 40 yards by Hurts and another 20 by Gainwell and Sermon. Like, that's a lot of groundwork right there. So I guess maybe that's why they didn't put numbers up on the ground, the Eagles, that is, simply because they ran the ball a lot. Good for them. Control the clock, you win the game. That's winning football.
Yep.
And maybe that's why the Eagles are in first place right now. I think they're 4-0.
And listen, the Jags had control of that game early, so.
Yeah, they did. They did. But any others? I mean, the Jets played well. I was really happy with.
Listen, they played well enough to have the Steelers bring in Kenny Pickett. I mean,
That's true.
Making that halftime move, I think it surprised everybody. I mean, I know the Steelers fans were happy, but again, it's one of those things where it's like, you want to chant for this guy and bring him in. Is he a savior? Is he the guy? I guess we're going to have to find out. But it's funny how these things are going to happen, and it's almost like, again, I want to say it, the 49ers, it's like the reverse of the 49ers, because if Trey Lance was healthy and out there playing, I feel like the 49er fans would be chanting for Garoppolo.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think it's a gift that he got hurt. I honestly do. You're paying Garoppolo to sit the bench, all that money, and you know the guy can perform. So,
I saw a lot of big play from the safeties on Sunday from the Jets, and they were concerned the previous week. We'll see how they do this week. I'm not sold on Joyner and Whitehead just yet. We need to be more disciplined overall. That personal foul from Carl Lawson, I know you were ticked off about that.
No.
And honestly, that may have been the game. You're a couple of plays away from that being the difference in the game and them winning because of that. That 3 points
Could have been. Yeah.
Yep. Then of course, Sauce Gardner's just every time I see Sauce Gardner, I think of the draft and Robert Saleh calling him up and just being like Sauce on the phone. And because that's how I feel every time I see Sauce Gardner do something crazy. Yep. Michael Carter II with an interception, Breece Hall with a touchdown.
Breece the Beast.
Corey Davis. Welcome to 2022, Corey Davis. You were sleeping. We caught you sleeping the first 3 games. You had us in the first half, not gonna lie. But you really came through for us. Damn, player of the game. I'll give him player of the game right now. AVT moving from right guard to left tackle in the middle of a game. Did you happen to catch anything about that by any chance?
No.
So they asked him, like, hey, have you had any reps in practice at tackle? And he goes, I have, but not like I wasn't not part of the team. Like I just stayed after practice and did reps at left tackle just in case. But like the coach never stopped and said, like, yeah, we're gonna do it like this now.
Hey, dude, more props to him. Yeah. Hungry kid, kid wanting to learn.
Yeah. AVT, I'll give it he's player of the game. If I could do 1A and 1B, it'd be AVT and Corey Davis. And then number 2 would be Quinnen Williams. He had a hell of a game, a real hell of a game. I love what I'm seeing from Jermaine Johnson. Did you happen to catch that like 3 of the top 10 rookies in the NFL right now from last year's draft are all Jets?
Yeah, no, it's awesome, dude.
They are the 3 that we drafted in the first round, but not every first round pick is a top 10.
No, not at all.
And Sauce Gardner is number 1 overall.
Yeah.
I want to say number 10 was Breece Hall. And I think Garrett Wilson was 5.
Dude, it's good drafting and filling the holes that we needed to fill. So
somebody said change the uniforms and take that picture they had with Darnold and all those guys. Do a new one with new uniforms with our new cast of characters.
There you go.
But Jets, good for them. I'll clap it up for the Jets. Golf clap for the Jets. Good game for the Jets. Talk about the New York Football Giants as they are known. Some concerning things, a little injury bug hitting the quarterbacks for the New York Giants.
Yeah.
And I believe that who'd they bring in this week? They brought in a new quarterback this week for a tryout because basically they had an injury to everybody. And I believe Jones got injured. Stepped out of the game. They bring in Tyrod Taylor, and he proceeds to get injured as well. And they had to put Jones back out there, who'd already been injured. So Daniel Jones is making progress toward coming back, but that's concerning for sure. Definitely concerning. But they do beat the Bears 20-12. Speaking of the Bears, Justin Fields 11 for 22, 174, oddly similar to Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Except that Justin Fields didn't throw 2 touchdowns. Also didn't have any turnovers. I give him credit where credit is due. He did also rush for 52 yards. I'm sure that's out of a scramble because his offensive line is trash. Yeah. Darnell Mooney with a big game, 4 receptions, 94 yards. on five targets. But Daniel Jones 8 for 13, 71 yards. I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch that game. I was watching the Jets game. That's not lighting it up. But Saquon Barkley, 31 carries, 146 yards.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jones did run for 68 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Which is great.
Fun fact from Sunday, Zach Wilson was the first Jets quarterback to receive a touchdown in the history of the New York Jets.
Wow, is it true?
That is true.
Wow.
He also, since both of their time in New York started at the same time, he has the same amount of touchdowns as Kenny Galladay. Oh, excuse me, he has more touchdowns than Kenny Galladay. If you're a Giants fan, it's not a dig. I'm just pointing out a statement of fact.
Yeah.
It was not
numbers don't lie.
I don't relish in the loss of the Giants, just douchebag Giant fans. But yeah, Kenny Galladay is trash, absolutely garbage, and he's stealing money. If he had any type of fortitude in him whatsoever, he'd give some money back for being such a.
He should at least stay after the games and help clean up or something.
Yes, earn a paycheck for Christ's sake. But the Giants beat the Bears 20-12, and I mean they're staying at the top of their division, which is good for them, man. It keeps them in the good column. They're 3-1 right now, which is great. We'll see how things shake out this week with them. Any other surprises that you saw this week? How about this kid Cooper Rush? 3-0 as a starter.
It's pretty damn good, huh?
And we know about your feelings about Dak, so talk to me about that.
Dude, it's funny. Is it right man, right spot? Like next man up, got his ability to touch the ball. Is it that he just has better eyes and a better read of the field and is able to do what needs to get done to move the ball and move the chains? He's a lot more competent under center than Dak has looked, I want to say, his entire career. And it's surprising. It's surprising that they're 3-0. Without Dak. It's very surprising. But that's the thing. Is it more of a dig, or is it more of hey, look at this kid, he's a stud apparently?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. And Jerry Jones said it earlier this season. I hope we have a quarterback controversy when Dak is healthy, because that means that we're playing good football. I mean, it's a great perspective to have, but you really do.
They don't really want that. The front office doesn't want that. They don't. Come on, they don't want that. The people who are spending the dollars and cents do not at all. I mean, in a perfect world, what he really means to say is, I wish friggin' Dak would earn every cent that we've given him so far and play like this new guy's playing, because nobody wants a quarterback controversy.
Yeah. But
I
also,
think I was going to say the only other game was, the Ravens. I thought the Bills managed to get back in and win that game, but dude, the Ravens gave them a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson's the Ravens are ready to roll.
Bills, since the season has started, it seemed before the season started the Bills would go undefeated. The Bills are looking real human the last 2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
looking real human. Sorry, Brian, they're looking real human. By the way, if the Jets beat the Dolphins on Sunday, the Jets are in first, and the Bills lose, the Jets are on first place.
Dude, I mean, it's not an easy task, but I don't think you're going to see Tua at all. So,
I honestly, dude,
I would hope to not see him.
There's a lot of Dolphins fans talking about how if the doctor clears him, I just don't feel like.
Why would you do that?
Getting to the point where I don't trust anybody anymore.
Right.
Especially after they let him play on Thursday.
But the problem is that hit on Thursday that sent him to the hospital wasn't that bad.
It wasn't. It
wasn't vicious. It wasn't like
him hitting his head on Sunday.
Chattering like, yeah. It's just, you got to worry about that kid long term.
The question I have is, everybody knows that once you have a concussion, you are prone to concussions for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So right now he's a week and change removed from, well, today he's less than a week. Tomorrow he'll be a week removed, and by Sunday he'll be a week and a half removed from this concussion. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how long it takes for you to fully. I've had a few concussions in my life, but I wasn't trying to play professional football.
I don't think it's a week.
It's, you know what? I just think about Clint Frazier and when he got that concussion and how long it affected him. And he was going out there playing, and baseball's not a contact sport, but he was going out there playing, and he was still affected by it, and he's not playing well. And
it's not a contact sport. Running does jostle the brain around a little bit, and not for nothing. Concussions definitely affect your vision big time. I mean, what are your eyes connected to? It's essentially just, a TV screen for your brain.
So my concern overall
you can get to your brain.
If it's affecting you doing normal function type deal, right? Just, concentrating and focusing. What happens when somebody cracks you in the head by accident playing football? The player doesn't sit there. The player sits there. He's been taught his whole life to lie.
Oh, yeah.
Don't say you're injured, right? How many fingers do I have up? Quick, somebody tell me how many fingers he's got up. So
it's not even that. It's the heroics come from the guy who stays in the game and leads their team to victory, right? It's one of those. I guess the bane. It's the bane of our gender is heroics and try to be a man. Try to get in there and get dirty and rub some dirt on it and don't say you're hurt. Don't cry if you're hurting on the inside. Don't talk to anybody. Just bury it down deep. And then take it out on a wall or somebody that cut you off in traffic.
Yeah.
But listen, it's simple. A brain injury is not something, again, not a doctor. What the hell do I know? But a brain injury is not something that you can heal up from and get back in there. Think about, dude, when you stub your toe, it hurts for like fucking 3 weeks. When you pull a muscle in the gym, dude, I wrenched my back last week doing deadlifts and it's still hurting me. For like 3 days, every morning when I got up to go to work, I was just like, come on, what the fuck? You know what I mean? In bad shape. That's a back muscle. That's a stupid little muscle.
What's so funny is if you did pull a hamstring, they'd hold you out for 3 weeks until that hamstring. I don't think they're paying enough attention to what controls your hamstring and tells it to move. It's your brain. Your brain controls all function in your body. So we give a lot of care and attention to extremities and ligaments and joints and muscles and bones. But the thing that helps all of those things actually function and grow, right? We ignore it. We absolutely ignore it. I mean, honestly, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not afraid of Tua as a player. I really am not. And maybe that's, because I'm a hater or whatever.
It's not that you need to be afraid of it. He's competent and he's able to do what he needs to do to win.
I think even if he was playing at full health, the Jets still win on Sunday. They're rolling right now. They're feeling themselves a little bit. They got their young guy back. They're feeling themselves a little bit. They're out their top two corners anyway. I'm not worried about Tua playing, but I am worried about Tua playing as a person. I don't want to watch the game and see the guy die on the field. I really don't. That's just not I want to see.
As far as the game goes, I'm more concerned about the Jets O-line and giving Wilson enough time to do what he needs to do and complete some passes. I think that's going to be the difference in the game. But as far as Tua goes, like on a personal level, and I don't know the guy from a hole in the wall, but I don't want to see him come back in. Not because I'm afraid he's going to kick our ass. I'm afraid he's going to fucking
football game.
Yeah, dude. What's an extra week? Not for nothing. If you're stacking up, team versus team, do you really need Tua? On paper, you should win either way. Who's their backup? Teddy Bridgewater.
Very capable.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, Bridgewater has a cannon. So I honestly feel really bad if they push him to go back out there. And I'm sure he's sitting there saying, I'm fine. Get my ass back in there. I want to win. We're all going to say that. Every single one of us. Dude, how many times you been at the bar and be like, yeah, I'm fine. Give me another beer. It's like, I'm not fine. Don't give me another beer, please. But, Thank God for wives. My wife, nah, he's good. You can go for a water.
Talking about other surprises. The Raiders get their first win against the Broncos. I didn't see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
A high-scoring affair, Lions-Seahawks. I saw Dan Orlovsky said if this Lions team had a bad defense, they'd be 4-0 right now. because apparently their defense is worse than bad. It's unwatchable. It is Pee Wee football, Pop Warner football bad. So the Seahawks win 48-45, and now everybody's on the Geno train.
Yeah, but I mean, you saw what happened after his first win. The dude, peaks and valleys, and that's the type of player he is. We watched him with the Jets. He's an athlete. He is an athlete. I will not take that away from him, but he's not consistent, and what you need is consistency. So I'm not ready to jump on the Geno train yet because that thing can get derailed at any moment. So,
yep, the Browns lose to the Falcons. I was very surprised by that. And the Sunday night
not me. I think the Falcons have the propensity to put up numbers. They do. They have the propensity to score. So
their quarterback is still Marcus Mariota.
I understand that, but they have the ability to score points, and they're going to score points.
The Sunday night affair, Tom Brady, who's cheating on his wife with football, lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes,
yes, they did.
Whose wife has the personality of a football. That's a lie. That's not true. His wife's annoying. Football's not annoying.
It's true.
But
not the football's fault.
Chiefs win, improves to 3-1. Bucks are 2.
Listen, Tom Brady's not having a Tom Brady year. They're scoring a lot of their points by field goal, and that's not going to do it. It's just not. It's not going to happen.
He's got distractions, man. I don't blame him. But
no, not at all.
I think everybody who watches football is kind of looking at it like, dude, you could have retired like 3 years ago, and you probably
went out on top.
Yeah, could have saved your marriage. You were like, nah, fuck this bitch, and decided to come back to work, and now it's falling apart. And now you want to be upset about it? Like, dude, like
it's not an easy thing to let go when you're, the stud of the last 20 years.
I mean,
15 at least.
Take solace in the fact that you won 7 Super Bowls, a couple of MVPs, fucking multi-millionaire. You were in Ted.
If he would have retired after winning with Tampa Bay, I mean, he already proved that it's not Bill Belichick, it's me.
Yeah. Now it's
he could have left on that.
Listen, now it's going to get to the point where Zach fucks his ex-wife, and it's going to be really bad.
I saw that. That was pretty funny. That was dead on.
The Monday night affair, the Rams put it to the get it put to them by the Niners. Didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming. And you know what? Matthew Stafford's looking real human these days.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, there's a problem. There's a problem in Ramstown. They I don't know what it is, dude, but they don't seem like an all-around competent football. They seem like the team that's going to the Super Bowl that everybody, had them on paper as. So who knows? Listen, it's early in the year, sure, but the struggles that they've had against the teams that they've had them against, it really shouldn't be happening.
The thing that got me was if I can get it without the NFL suing us. This really is something I saw at that game that blew my mind. Was the play from Debo on this next play from Debo Samuel after this field goal, obviously.
All right.
This is incredible. I've seen a lot of things, but damn, if this throw and this, wow.
Well,
2. If I was Chris Bermer, I'd be going whoop. 3. Makes 3 defenders miss, and he carries that ball like 60 yards from the catch. His yak on that was about 60 yards, and literally ran the width of the field.
Yep.
Just amazing. Just did what he wanted. But
yeah.
But I think that's all for the NFL this week.
I agree.
Next week coming up, big games across the board, but we've got a special guest. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll get our guest on here. And we're back from this awesome break. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce the man, the myth, the legend. Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. Big Tom Doyle in the house.
Gentlemen.
What up, Papa Dukes?
What's up?
Good show, Uncle Tom.
What's going on?
Why does one of your eyebrows look extremely evil?
Because I'm half evil tonight. Rangers lost. Rangers lost preseason, but they lost.
That's all right.
You
It's
want to
early.
lose preseason.
It's early.
I'm just upset that they're going to send Ottman down to, I guess, set some more records in the OHL.
They already did.
I know.
And I'm pretty sure he won the first game that he played in.
I know he scored.
Yeah.
So
I just hope he doesn't
they're ready for him to. Who's playing for the Thunderbirds or something like that?
the
Firebirds?
Flint Firebirds. So I really hope he drink the water over there.
No. I hope he has bottled water.
Yeah, he may be back up soon.
I think he's the first guy you pull any forwards get injured, but
Yep.
the hell do I know? I'm a big proponent in learning as a kid, and I understand he's 19 years old. He's not filled out yet. He's going to put on a little, meat on the bones. But there's no better way to learn than to get thrust right into the NHL, because lighting it up in the OHL is going to do him no justice.
NHL, if you're looking for somebody to fill up your players, give TJ Doyle a call.
Absolutely. We can listen, if Ottman needs to bulk out, we can get him on the Chick-fil-A and steak train.
That's not
bacon.
What kind of steak are you talking about? Like tube steak smothered in underwear?
No tube steak smelling underwear. No Famunda cheese on the side. Absolutely not. Not for the Rangers. I mean, maybe that's a big Brad Marchand breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but not here. Not here, folks.
And smack.
Yeah.
Uncle Tom,
The
what
Rat can
jersey
eat
you got
that.
on?
What's up?
What jersey you got on tonight?
I got old reliable Kovalov.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Alexei Kovalov. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Great Ranger. We trade him away. He becomes a superstar. We get him back, and it's like, oh, hi. What's up, guys? Sorry. I used all my gas in the tank on the way over.
Exactly.
My bad.
Hey, he had a good Stanley Cup run.
He did. Fantastic Stanley Cup run. That's all that mattered.
That's it.
We got hockey. We got hockey coming up. That's exciting stuff. Who are you most excited for this season?
Rangers.
I mean, what player? What player?
What player? You know what? I like Connor McDavid. I think he's going to light the lamp a lot this year. And, they may do it. The Oilers may go this year. They may go. They're going to go a lot farther, I think, than last year. I don't know.
Tom, you said you like Connor McDavid. You think he's going to light the lamp a lot this year. In other news, Wayne Gretzky was good.
No. But what I'm saying is he's going to be more productive, not just goals, assists, and he's just an all-around player now. He comes back on defense. They don't give him a lot of credit for defense, but he comes back. You watch his games, he comes back. Listen, Colorado's a team to beat again, but I think the Rangers got a good shot.
Ice is cold.
And water is wet.
It's true. It's true. Listen, I'm looking for Lafreniere to go to the next level. I mean, I think we all expect him to go to that next level. We're all waiting for it. I think he took some steps forward, a couple steps back this last season, but I'm waiting for Lafreniere to be that guy, to be, to kind of take the throne from Panarin and be the guy that's going to run the offense and generate the scoring.
Yeah. Another guy I want to see step up is Kako.
Yeah.
He got hurt yet last year, but I think, another year under his belt. I think the playoffs helped him, and I'm hoping for bigger things from him too.
I hope whatever happened at the end of that playoff doesn't roll into this year with him.
Right. Yeah. That was tough.
We still don't know what the hell happened. I still don't know what happened.
Unreal. That's a move that's in-house. That something happened. Something had to happen for him to sit.
Yeah, dude, a lot of
late or something.
A lot of questionable sits. I mean, sitting Reeves, where
Reeves too. Exactly.
Come on, dude. Like the writing was on the wall. It was going to be a physical, nasty game.
Yep.
It was getting really chippy, and you're going to sit the guy. And I would understand if he was a net negative out there, if he was going out there and a -4 every night. That was not the case. The guy was back checking like a beast. They were not scoring on the fourth line. He was doing everything he needed. They were able to possess the puck deep in the offensive zone almost the entire time they were out there on their shifts. I mean, and then they sit him as if it's a wasted body, and it wasn't the case.
When you if you ever go back and look at the games, when that puck went into the corner and he was coming, the opposing players shied away because they were going to get slammed, and that was big, and like
100% big.
They
It sets the
did not
tone.
hurt the team at all in the playoffs, not at all.
Yeah, that one really irked me. I wanted answers for that we never got. So
yeah, and it probably won't either. Maybe in a week or two, someone will come up and they'll say something.
Well,
I don't think so.
When things happen in the locker room, hockey players actually keep it to themselves. Mostly, a lot of them don't speak English, so who would they tell anyway? But it's also because Canadians are not going to say bad things about each other, eh?
Hey,
do they even speak English, Canadians?
Canadians speak their version of English.
Yep.
I don't know what that's about.
Who do we have? We have opening night. What do we have? The Tampa Bay Lightning, right?
Tampa Bay Lightning, yeah.
This could be a fun opener.
Oh yeah.
Set the tone early for the season.
I can't wait to start going to games.
Yeah.
I agree.
You see the prices of the tickets? They're ridiculous, man.
Astronomical.
I'm going to start using NetTix more often.
I'm just going to sneak in.
Oh, I used to do that. Used to do that as a kid. Great times at the Garden, baby. The old Madison Square Garden.
Next game is Saturday against the Islanders. Obviously, it's preseason. It's at the Islanders at that ugly ass arena out there in what's the name of the town it's in?
Long Island. What is it? It's right across from the track. Right.
Belmont. But it's not Belmont. It's the other. It's Elmont.
Elmont. Yeah.
It's in Elmont because the track is in Belmont because that's not confusing.
No.
Not at all.
Fucking Long Island.
They got to keep it basic for the Long Island crowd.
Yeah.
Easily confused.
The wish I were from New York's.
They're like carnies, small hands.
Smell like cabbage. But Rangers open up on Tuesday next week, the 11th.
Yep, the 11th.
Excited.
The day after Columbus Day, and hoping for a W against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Dude, did we just get canceled for saying Columbus Day?
No, definitely not.
Were we allowed to do that?
It's still called Columbus Day.
It's Columbus Day. Always be Columbus Day.
Google Calendar tries to tell me it's not.
Yeah, they don't make
Indigenous Day.
The federal government does.
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Hold on.
Amazing.
Hold on a second. Let's go to the time. Actually, no, it still says Columbus Day on mine.
Does it? Oh man, I got a communist phone.
It also does. It does say Indigenous Peoples Day underneath it, but it's written real small. As an Indigenous person, I'm all right with it being called Columbus Day.
There you go.
Considering
the horse's mouth. Let's go.
Considering the fact that at least half of my ancestors were on that boat.
What, the Nina, the Pinta, or the Santa Maria?
We were on a little boat behind all three. Well, it was called the Pinche.
Oh man, that's funny.
But we brought Big Tom on to talk about records this year for Major League Baseball. Lots and lots of records being set, milestones being met, and we figured we asked Big Tom on because he was alive when a lot of these records were set in the first place.
Don't let the beard fool you.
I mean, let's go. He's more concerned about that eyebrow because it's getting out. It's getting away from you. Trying to escape. It's breaking free, guy. Oh my God. Jesus.
Listen, I had a tough day today.
We're gonna start calling that left eyebrow Snake Blitzkin. Escape from New York. Escape from Tom's face.
Escape from New York. Yeah. I'm just not wearing leather pants.
You had a hard day today from what? Being retired?
Yeah. Listen, we did a lot of house cleaning. Then I had to go pump out a pool. So
it's one of those things that it's like, yeah, I woke up, man. I spent at least 45 minutes to an hour trying to figure out what not to do.
More than an hour.
Yeah, my dad's doing that all the time. He's just like, yeah, man. I woke up and I was just like, so what do I not want to do today?
Listen, you know what's great about being retired? You could say you're going to do something another day.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, listen, it's great. It's
I wouldn't
great.
know.
Retirement is great. You'll get there. Don't worry about it. You'll get there.
I got a feeling we're all going to get hit by an asteroid before I get to retirement, or aliens will invade.
Well, unless it's
the very next day, right?
I won't even be the guy.
It's going to end in 12 years.
Dude, have you ever seen Battle Los Angeles?
No.
Pretty
I don't watch bad movies.
It's a pretty good if you're in the military and you watch it, you're like, oh my god, we actually do fight exactly like this. Whoever their freaking advisor was spot on. That guy really served. Even if you're fighting aliens, the tactics were like, wow, that's money right there. Anyway, just like regular life, the staff sergeant walks into the office, signs his papers to get out, and they get invaded by aliens that day, and they tear up his papers like, you're going to work, guy. Come on, I was out. Give me my papers. That's why you don't do anything until they give you that DD-214. You ain't free until you get it.
That's it.
That's why that kid that jumped out of that plane with that goldfish and his freaking stuff got in trouble, because he didn't get his DD-214 for another week. Don't get me wrong. It was funny, but he did extra duty for a whole week because he jumped out of that plane with that goldfish inside his suit.
Oh, my God.
You guys see that?
No.
It was pretty funny. The guy was getting out of the army like the next day, and he did an airborne operation with the goldfish.
Ugh.
And then he got like extra duty for like a week because he did that. It's pretty baller. I'm not gonna lie.
Worth it.
I'll show it to you guys right now. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's talking for some reason. I don't know why though. Oh, the original video. What is this garbage? Here you go. The news. The news will talk.
Now to a fish. Make it in a water bottle.
So he put a freaking goldfish
with the 82nd Airborne out of Fort Bragg decided he would be the only one to make good on his bet. He said, quote, I wanted to make it awesome. Well, not only is it against the rules, it's also pretty dangerous. With the fish in your hand. So what was his punishment? A company grade Article 15, which is basically a punishment without a court-martial, and 12 extra days of duty. They threatened to take his rank, but they did not. He will now leave the Army May 20th. By the way, will he make it? Made it. Tattersall said later that punishment could have been much worse, but if you're willing to do the crime, you have to be willing to do the time.
Amen.
Oh, man. Listen,
Dude, they actually delayed him getting out of the army so they could punish him for 12 days.
That's sad. You know, everybody that was, ruling on that was also like, this guy's pretty awesome, though.
Everybody definitely was like, that was freaking awesome. But they were like, listen, you embarrassed us on TV. We have to do something now.
Dude,
so, hey, Nick, so for the record book, was that the first official fish jump?
I cannot confirm nor deny that. After I saw an elephant fly, I don't doubt anything anymore.
There you go.
Listen, if NASA can send like monkeys and dogs into space, I think that guy can jump with his fish.
Seriously, that fish was never in any danger. Stop it. Like, we carry water.
None whatsoever.
We carry water when we jump out of planes. I don't know if they know this. All he had to do was fish in his
wasn't
water
that a
bag.
comfort fish?
Actually, we jump out of planes with dogs that's strapped to us, but the
right.
fish crossing the line.
Land sharks. They're not dogs. They're land sharks.
Listen, those dogs are terrifying. They'll destroy entire villages by themselves.
Yeah.
All you got to do is boop them on the nose, and they're the sweetest thing. But back to records in MLB.
Let's do it.
The big one. What was that?
I was going to say, let's start with the smaller one. Not that it's small by any stretch of the imagination. Garrett Cole setting the strikeout record
for the Yankees.
Yes.
Yeah. Beating Ron Guidry. I like that's a great point, T. Great point to bring that up, because let's ask your dad what it was like when Ron Guidry set that record back in like 76.
The Louisiana Lightning. Nobody threw like him. Listen, Nolan Ryan threw harder, et cetera, but you know what? He was the Gator. He was the greatest lefty in my time for the Yankees. great guy, great pitcher, good all-around guy in the clubhouse. And you know what? When he struck out, 18 in a row, 18 in the game.
Yep.
Awesome. He wasn't all bulked up or nothing. He was this little thin, skinny guy. If he was maybe 5'8", 5'9" at the most, and he just dominated.
So that season of dominance was 1978.
Yes.
Let me just throw this down. 248 strikeouts. That was the record for the Yankees, obviously broken by Garrett Cole yesterday. But that season, Louisiana Lightning, aka Gator, aka Ron Guidry, who was 5'11", 161 pounds.
That was pretty tall for that.
I'm 5'10", 200 pounds for reference, and I don't think I'm a big man by any stretch of the imagination. He won 25 games with a 1.74 ERA and 35 starts. He pitched 273 innings. All right. His whip that season was .946.
He won the Cy Young that year?
How many homers did he give up that year?
That season, he gave up, let me see, 13 home runs.
Cole gave up 13 home runs in 2 starts.
He started 35 games and he gave up 13 home runs, 53 earned runs over 35 games.
And
It's insane.
he was a number one that you can count on.
So
Cole's a great pitcher. You know what? Strikeout guy, but you can't count on him. You don't know what's going to show up. Is he going to pitch a 10 strikeout gem, or he's going to give up 3 homers and can't keep a lead? Ron Guidry, hands down, I'd take him over Cole any day.
Well, I probably wouldn't take him today because he's like 70 years old. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
You know what? In his year of 78 and Cole this year, I think Cole leads the league in home runs given up.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does. In 78, Ron Guidry did win the Cy Young Award.
Yes, he did.
Unanimously, right? When he won?
Yes, unanimously. He won 100% of the vote.
I'll take that, dude. I'll take a picture like that.
Yeah. Yep. Again, I think if I'm doing my math here correctly, and I probably am not because, math is not my forte. That's why I'm going to break out my handy dandy calculator. He pitched 273 innings, 273.2 innings that year over the course of 35 games. That's almost 8 innings per game. And he 8 innings per game. We're talking his whip was .946. Whip, for those of you who don't know, is walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. Basically, how many people you allow to get on base per inning. And he allowed less than one guy on base per inning for 8 innings for a season, for 35 games. That's crazy.
And what was he charged with? 53 runs?
53 runs over the course of 273 innings.
It's insane.
It's 273 divided by 53. He gave up like what? I can't. That's math I can't do.
Well, how many home runs did he give up that year?
He gave up 13.
So, other than home runs, 40 RBIs he gave up.
Yeah.
That's astonishing, dude. That's.
And it was, what's really wild though. If you look at his previous season, he pitched well, but nothing. I guess
spectacular. But he was a yeoman.
The previous season he was kind of new. But that season in 78, he was already 27.
Yeah.
And that was only his 4th big league season.
Epic, dude. That's just epic.
But Garrett Cole breaks the record yesterday in a losing effort. I'm not going to put it on him. The Yankees could have put up more runs. But and again, it's not the point. You just at that juncture, you just want him to feel good.
Right.
But this season we've seen Miguel Cabrera hit 3,000 hits. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Just to put it into perspective, when Roberto Clemente made his 3,000th hit, he was the 10th man, I think, in the history of baseball to collect 3,000 hits. Now, I don't know how many people, in that time, at the time Roberto Clemente played baseball, but it was 72 was his final season.
Right.
I don't know how many people at that point had played baseball collectively, but for only 10 dudes to do it in, at that point, 72 years of Major League Baseball or 69 years of Major League Baseball, it's amazing. So Miguel Cabrera at this point, that's a big deal. 3,000 hits is a lot.
It's a lot of hits. Yeah. Did Clemente, did he get that his last hit 3,000 was against the Mets?
I don't recall who his it might have been. It may have been. Let's ask Google.
And who did he get off? Matlack, I think.
He got it off of Tom Seaver.
Tom Seaver, that's right. Tom Seaver.
He got it off Tom Seaver. Name brand. That's great.
Yeah, that's it.
And then he died that winter, unfortunately.
Yep.
I just finished his
humanitarian aid effort.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But Miguel Cabrera collects his 3,000th hit this year. Only 33 hitters in the history of baseball have 3,000 hits or more.
That's a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment.
I mean, if you're looking at baseball collectively, right? I think a team generally has 12 hitters on it, right? 9 starters, an extra catcher, an extra middle infielder. So you have 12 or 13 hitters, right?
Right.
So if we're doing 12 or 13 hitters, let's say 13 for argument's sake, times 30 teams, that's 390 hitters per season. Only 33 in the history of baseball have ever gotten 3,000 hits. Like, I could probably Google search how many hitters have played Major League Baseball.
Honestly, the biggest thing is it's the number would be how many players have actually lasted long enough to even come close,
yeah.
Having the ability to get 3,000 hits, having the at-bats enough to, even if you're a decent hitter hitting 270, let's say, to have enough to see enough pitching.
You gotta have a lasting career. Because
in general, you need to at least be playing, I want to say 18 years at the minimum, 17 years.
Yeah.
How long did what's his name play?
Who's that?
Who you were just talking about?
Roberto Clemente.
Roberto Clemente.
Like 21 years.
And he got it on his last season before he passed. So, it's not to be able to sustain
18. I don't know where I got 21 from. This math doesn't look good.
That's his number. That was his jersey number, 21.
No, I was trying to minus 55 from 72, and I'm just not good at math.
It's 3,912.
But there's the Major League Baseball closed in on 20,000 players in 2021. Obviously, not all of those 20,000 players are hitters. But let's say, for argument's sake, it's half, right? Let's say, for argument's sake, it's half, and there's 10,000 hitters. 33 have gotten
3,000.
Have gotten 3,000 hits out of 10,000 people. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's less than 1%.
Well, the goal was to get 200 hits at least a season. That's what these guys would look for, 220.
Think about it like this. What do they say when you're playing, even if you make college baseball D1, the chances of getting to the MLB is less than 1%. Yeah. And then less than 1% of those guys are going to hit 3,000.
Bear in mind, right? In a baseball player, when you play baseball, it's not like playing football in America. You play football in America. Who do you compete with when you're in college? And then when you get to the pros, other Americans. You play baseball, you're not just going to graduate from college and go, I'm going to go play professional baseball. You have to compete against the whole friggin' world.
Yeah.
Somebody, they're going to sign a kid that plays the same position to you at a DR, Venezuela, and Japan. And You know, it's tough, man. And that kid's been playing professionally since he's 16 or 15. Right. It's like Canadians playing hockey in Canada. They're playing pro at 16, juniors.
Oh, dude, it's hockey in Canada. It's essentially, I mean, if you got, they know when you're 12, 13. That's like the Bryce Harper situation where everybody knew Bryce Harper was going to be an MLB player, you know, when he's playing Little League. That's essentially how it goes for hockey players in Canada. You start going to specialized schools. You start going to, private schools that you're practicing every day. Hockey is life, and that's it. And you're essentially just that's your everything you do every morning when you wake up. That's your goal, is to just make it to the NHL, and you're putting all the time and effort and work in since you're preteen essentially. So it's that's not what's happening in baseball, especially in this country. Yeah, you'll go to some clinics.
It happens in DR and Venezuela.
That's what I mean. That's it. That's all you listen. That's your bread ticket essentially.
Yeah, you'll get maybe 10 months a year at Florida, California. You ain't gonna get that on the East Coast.
No.
You go to Latin America, they're playing all year round.
I mean, we do get some good prospects out of the California Penal League, but
Giles Lemire says in here, he was like, yeah, I got prospected when I was 12.
Yeah.
He's like, I was playing.
Dude, hockey's no joke. They know from an early age, like, all right, this guy, he's got it. Like you can pick up on that. Like whatever it is, you just have it. And it's because if you ever watch some of these guys play when they're kids, like look at videos of Sidney Crosby. He's got fucking hands better than some D1 players at 12 years old. I mean, the way he's skating around people, it's essentially unfair because he's playing a different game than they are. They're playing a game for fun, and this guy's like, wait, are you guys taking the afternoon off, or are you guys really trying right now?
Sometimes in some of those instances, it's easier for the kid to play that way because he actually is having fun. He's not taking it seriously. Like he's having fun at a different thing. He enjoys looking good, doing things differently. Sometimes you'll see the most creativity out of the youngest players because they're younger and they'll do creative crap, like stuff that you would normally try to do. I'll give an example. In baseball, somebody like Omar Vizquel or Ozzie Smith with the defensive things that they did is probably because an older guy doesn't even try to do that. He doesn't even think to do that because it's not what you do. It's not the standard. It's not the cookie cutter. And kids don't think with a cookie cutter mindset. Kids think with, the free spirit. I don't have to color inside the lines mindset, and that's good. And sometimes it leads to like some amazing crap that we've never seen. Like,
no, of course, but that goes with just the fact that they're at such an advanced. I mean, at that age when you're a young kid going through Little League, you're most 99% or more are trying to focus on just doing the basics right. Just getting the feel of the game and knowing where to go with the ball and just doing what you're supposed to do as a baseball player. And these guys have that shit down pat. And they're like, all right, you know what? Let's try a little something right now. Let's do a little glove flip between the legs to second base on this double play.
You never did that, T.
No, I honestly, I think the most impressive thing I did is I stole a one hopper up the middle. And as I turned to throw it to the shortstop, he was still standing at shortstop, and he looked at me and goes, I thought there was no way you're getting that ball. Like, you dick.
That's not true. I've seen you tag somebody out, and you didn't even have the ball.
Dude, that was David Copperfield shit.
Now you don't, and that's why I call the Magic Man.
I mean, listen, I mean, it was Angel Hernandez trying to pick up a couple extra bucks on the weekend, and he wasn't looking for the ball.
No, you sold it well, man. You sold it. You got the Academy Award on that one.
Absolutely. Freaking Joe. Yo, throw it around. I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up.
I tell you what, I ended up with that ball in center field, and I underhanded it to you like a rocket. Laser rocket into your glove. You didn't even move your glove. It was like waist high, like belt.
Oh, yeah.
Like this.
Dude, I had my back to the infield. Blocked it very well. It's amazing that even the other team, not a single person was like, wait a second, he's a phony.
You're a phony.
Dude, we
I
sold that perfectly.
I literally went like this, and it shot out of my hand. I don't think I've ever thrown a ball that hard in my life.
That shit was great.
Good times. But Miguel Cabrera, 3,000 hits. Congratulations to him. One of 33 in the history of the game. We're talking about 120 years at this point, or 119 years. 1903 was the merger. But since 1903, it's like 33 guys got 3,000 hits or more, and he's one of them. That's amazing.
Enough players for like 2 rosters in the MLB.
Yeah, not even. Yeah, it's just wild, just absolutely wild. Like, and then of course Albert Pujols has been followed around. He hit his 703rd home run the other day.
Yep.
And he tied Babe Ruth for second all time in RBI, I believe, or he passed Babe Ruth actually.
He passed him, I believe, is right.
Yeah, so congratulations to him.
Did you see the video going around where essentially the bat boy comes out and Albert Pujols switches bats, and the bat boy gives him a different bat, and they're like, "Oh, cork bat, maybe." It's like you're really reaching. Like you're really reaching. Come on.
I do have to say that Albert has been struggling a lot over the course of the last few years, and this year he kind of rolled out of bed and hits 20-something home runs.
Is it more though? Is it more that he's just taking his final lap and he just doesn't give a shit? It's no pressure. Just go out there and have fun with it.
I think maybe it might be the fact that he's comfortable back in St. Louis.
Yeah. And he's got a handful of pinch hit homers too.
Yeah,
which is
but it did. For the casual fan, it does look weird that he didn't hit more than 17 home runs the previous 4 seasons, and this year he hit 24.
Yeah, but again, it's the situation that he's in.
I'm a dirty, filthy liar. Excuse me. He hit 24 this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Fuck it. He had 23 in 2019. 24 is all right. That's weird. I can't even do this math.
Couple of extra mornings of Wheaties.
So in 2020, he hit 6. In 2021, he hit 17. And I guess that's where people are like, wait a second. He also got traded in between there. He was playing with the Angels in 20. Obviously, that was a shortened season.
Yeah.
And then 21, he got traded halfway through the season from the Angels to the Dodgers. And
I don't think there's anything fishy about it.
Listen,
maybe I'm naive.
7 homers from last year to this year, and the shortened year, he had 6 with the trade. Things happen. You know what? Mentally, he wasn't maybe ready.
I think the DH helped him in the National League this year.
Yeah.
A lot of pitchers that were pitching in the National League previously had to get used to now you have to pitch to 9 guys and not 8 guys or 7.
And an easy out.
Yeah, you're not getting that anymore. So maybe that's what it was. You know what? Congratulations to Albert. Staying on the Cardinals, Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina set a record for the most the most games together as a battery.
Pitcher catcher,
Yep. And it's actually 18 seasons they've played. 213 team wins.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Warren Spahn and Del Crandall for the Braves. And Warren Spahn's a name brand right there.
Yeah.
That's a nice little
Wainwright in his own right was, is a very good pitcher. Held his own all these years, and when St. Louis had good teams, bad teams, and he stayed steady.
The one thing I kind of like with Adam Wainwright was when he told everybody that he grooved in a pitch for Jeter at the All-Star game.
Yeah, it was
but
a little douchey.
He's gonna say that. Yeah, come on, because he got hit, he beat him. You know what I mean?
No, he actually did groove that ball in there. Derek Jeter.
Yeah, but listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what? Come on.
He tried to apologize afterwards. He was like, I was just kidding. It was a joke. I didn't really do that. Yeah, you did. We all saw it. Actually, the guy who – so speaking of home runs, Aaron Judge hit his 62nd home run last night. And I got to be honest with you. I thought the pitcher grooved it in there.
I don't think so. Me personally,
No, they went after him.
I've been watching the last 20, 22 games, every at bat, and I will tell you, certain teams did not pitch, Judge to hit and let him hit it, and they kept the ball away. And Texas said they were going to go right after him, and you know what they did? He had quite a few strikeouts in this series.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just saying, is that one pitch?
It was a slider, and he got it up and he pulled it.
It just, to me, the location, it just looks like he grooves it in there. I don't know. It just
nah.
A home run's a home run's a home run. If YouTube ever wants to get on board with me, then
because they don't like what you just said.
I guess not. I mean,
it was just the slider was up. But listen, he threw him a fastball the pitch before, and it was swing and a miss. And then this pitch, he just got the slider up a little high.
Nah, it looks like a front hip slider. He just didn't get enough bite on it.
Yeah, he just hung it up. That's all.
Yeah, good call from Michael K. Case closed.
Well, did you hear John Sterling's call?
I absolutely did not hear John Sterling's call. I presume John Sterling was asleep when it happened, because he's 95 years old and everything he has to say has like a hint of racism as well as some familiarity with it.
Wow. I gotta be honest with you. I thought his call was stellar compared to Michael K.
Let's try and find John
Michael
Sterling.
K sucks.
John Sterling's
but
call.
you know what? John Sterling in his heyday was a very good announcer.
John Sterling has a great voice. I will never say that he doesn't, but he's senile at this point, and he just sounds.
Listen, his time is coming past.
Presented.
Let's hear it.
Here's the 1-1.
Courtesy of New York Post.
Deep left, it is high, it is far, it is gone. Number 62 to set the new American League record. Aaron Judge hits his 62nd. All the Yankees out of the dugout to greet him. Just think of it. 3 Yankee right fielders. The Babe hitting 60 and 27. The Jolly Roger.
Courtesy of WFAN 660, New York.
And now Aaron Judge hits his 62nd home run, the most home runs any American leaguer has hit in a single season. And the American League has been alive for 120 years. This is Judgment Day. Case closed.
Nah, way too much. Way too much.
When I ask a question, though, how did Kay and Sterling give the case closed comment?
Because
I would not be shocked that so Michael K said it pretty quickly. John Sterling said it about 45 minutes later when he was done talking.
Right.
I would not be shocked if K said it and John Sterling's in the next booth over and heard him say case closed and was like, "Ooh, I'm going to say that."
Yeah, well, when Judge hit 61, there was quite a few people saying that Michael K just went on too long and just should have let the moment play out.
Well, I guess he did that on yesterday because he just said case closed and then stopped talking.
And that was it. Yep.
John Sterling just went on for a 45-minute diatribe. I'm pretty sure Aaron Judge was in the dugout. The next bat, Rizzo was already in the batter's box with the third pitch on him already.
They took him out of the game by that time.
John Sterling yammering on in his senility.
Yeah, but you know what? I liked his call.
I'm not a fan of John Sterling.
How ecstatic do you think the dude that caught that ball is that they sat Judge after that, and then the next game,
Yeah.
yes, the value continues to rise. There will be no 63.
They said there's a $2 million auction guy put up $2 million. He said, "I'll give you $2 million for the ball already."
So I seen a whole bunch of people were talking about it, and they said that people memorabilia people were buying tickets to the game and carrying $500,000 cash on hand to immediately run up and try to hand $500,000 cash free, no tax, nothing.
Nothing.
Here you go. Give me the ball for $500,000, just trying to tempt somebody for those balls once, he hit 60. So
what about this guy right
61
here?
And now 62. Dude, the guy that jumped and he was nowhere even close,
yeah.
He's definitely banned from the stadium forever and probably going to have knee braces and be walking around like Forrest Gump at the beginning of the movie.
I was just going to tell you, he twisted his ankle so bad they had to carry him on a stretcher.
So he actually walked out of the stadium without any issues.
Yeah.
They kicked him out of the stadium though.
Of course, man.
Yeah, they have to.
Dude, that's no joke. That was about what? That's about a 15, 20-foot drop.
Oh, yeah. And that's concrete he's going on. It ain't going on grass and dirt.
So Matt says, not sure if it's true or not, but the guy who caught the ball works for like $1 billion company and doesn't care about the money.
Yes, he does. He's a broker. He's a VP for a broken house.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm sure he wants money over fucking stupid. Hey, take some pictures and autographs. And a lot of people said like the Yankees need to be a little more serious with, because everybody knows the value of it. Nobody's gonna get duped into like, oh hey, come here, let's work it out. The team wants the ball, blah blah. You're not gonna sell me with tickets to a game or photos with Aaron Judge, dude. You got life-changing money there, and anybody, even somebody that's rich that can't use a free $2 million cash, even you're gonna claim it and pay taxes on it, walk away with 1.2 mil. That's not chump change. That's not like, I think a drunken weekend in Vegas blowing $1.2 million, if that's what you want to do, is a little more special than a couple pictures and autographs from Aaron Judge.
If it was me and I was that guy, I'd be like, listen, I want $2 million and I want season tickets for the rest of my life in good seats.
Hell yeah.
I think that's fair.
You know what? Honestly, I would tell him I want the what's it called? Oh shit, what's his face from City Slickers that got to play with the Yankees? I want that treatment. I want to be Billy Crystal. I want the Billy Crystal treatment. I want to be able to get a couple at bats in spring training. I want you to treat me like part of the team. I don't care if everybody hates me.
So Matt says Judge wants the ball too, so the Yanks better pony up. My dad made a great point last night. He goes, I want my $2 million. If Aaron Judge is going to be the one to buy it from me, I want my $2 million to be a bonus attached to his salary.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, Aaron's not paying me $2 million. The Yankees are paying me $2 million through Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
And I get it'll help with the taxes.
Dude, let's call it what it is. That ball is probably going to be worth more than $2 million. It really is. I think Conor McDavid's rookie card, graded 10, autographed rookie, just sold this year for like $350,000. It's a card that they made multiple of. It sold for $350,000.
I've been sitting on mine for freaking 2 years.
No, I robbed your house of that already. Sorry.
Son of a bitch.
What's it called?
It's worth $5 million.
I'm not surprised, and it's just going to go up in value, dude. Again, a graded 10 mint Wayne Gretzky rookie card, I think right now holds the record for most. I think somebody paid over $3 or $4 million at auction for a Wayne Gretzky rookie card.
I'm pretty sure that does not hold it's not the most.
I'm talking, not Babe Ruth, not like different, like, a mass-produced card.
Wagner.
A mass-produced card, not something that only one exists or two exists.
Only one exists or two exists today. When it was produced back in the day, it was mass-produced.
Right.
There were thousands around.
Not mass-produced to the effect of even Wayne Gretzky when he played Conor McDavid's rookie card, mass-produced, and it still holds value.
So the reason the Hannes Wagner card is so expensive is because it was sold in packs of cigarettes.
Yes.
And he was against smoking. And he was like, you better take my freaking picture off your cigarettes. So if you think more kids are buying freaking cards for freaking Connor McDavid than they were smoking cigarettes back in 1920, you're fucking high, friend. Because your son would be smoking a pack of cigarettes right now, getting that Hannes Wagner card.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
I'd take up smoking right now if I can get a Hannes Wagner card.
And that card sold for $6.6 million.
The joy of getting to open up a Topps brand new pack of baseball cards was that solid piece of gum that you had to chew for 40 minutes before it got soft.
40
One
minutes. That shit disappeared like it was cardboard. I thought it was just paper.
No.
One time I bought a pack of cards from like 1985 because at Fort Hamilton they used to have a machine, and every so often you'd look in there and there'd be like a Topps or an Upper Deck card from like 1984, and it still had gum in it, and I chewed it and it dissolved in my mouth.
Oh my God.
Not for nothing. How messed up. I remember those machines, especially when we used to bowl and we go to Rap Country Lanes, and the vending machine had the cards in there. It's like, how big of an F up is it that you're dropping cards from like 2 feet up in the stupid thing, and now you're just banging up all my friggin' corners? Again, trading cards back then when we were kids weren't, people weren't sending the PSA left and right like we are today. But still, it's like, thunk. Like, oh, hey, I got a good card. Oh, it's bent now. Never mind.
The Andy Pafko card. If you ever watched Cop Out, the Andy Pafko, let's see like how much the Andy Pafko card cost. Andy Pafko, who's a generally like kind of like a forgettable baseball player, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
His card goes for like $2,000.
Really?
Yep. Because he's number 1 in a deck of cards.
Really?
Yeah. So like back in the day when you bought a deck of cards, right? Cards came in cases.
Right.
And it was only X amount of players, let's say 200 players. And every single player got labeled 1, 2,
1,
3,
2, all
4,
the way through. Yep.
6, 7, all the way to 200. So if you wanted a complete set, you had to collect all 200 cards.
Right.
Andy Pafko for like 1953 or something like that, 52, was number 1. And nobody ever kept number 1 because when you kept the cards, you'd keep your cards and you put a rubber band over the top of it. So the first card would always get fucked up. The rubber band going around the top of it every single day. Bop, 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 bop. So nobody had a mint condition Andy Pafko card. So if anybody wanted to complete their 1952 or 53 Topps cards, they had to get that card in mint condition, and nobody had it because it was all fucked up because of rubber bands. People just take it, put it in their fucking spokes and shit to make their bicycles sound like a fucking motorcycle and shit.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look at Lou Gehrig's card getting found on dead bodies in the Goonies. Jesus.
Your dad thought he was badass back in the day.
I was.
Back in 1952 when he was getting that Andy Pafko card.
No, not that early.
Oh, he started collecting the year after.
So Aaron Judge hits his 62nd home run. Obviously, all three of us were alive when McGuire and Sosa were going at it in 98.
Yeah, we all watched it.
Obviously, we're alive when Bonds hit 73 in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Where does this rate next to those? Like, how did you feel about? I honestly, that the Sosa and McGuire one was really like a nail biter.
It was riveting. It was good TV. It was great for baseball. It essentially, anybody that wants to sit here again, we're going to go into the steroid argument. Should these guys be in the Hall of Fame? Shouldn't they? That Sosa McGuire, situation, that battle, that saved baseball after the lockout. It 110% brought fans back to baseball, and it brought more fans into baseball. It saved baseball. Bud Selig should be putting those guys in fucking the Hall. The fact that Bud Selig's in the Hall of Fame and those guys aren't, is just an atrocity. Everybody knew what was going on. Everybody was okay with it. Okay, I'm not saying that they get a free pass and what they did was right, wrong, indifferent, whatever. We could sit here and run down the gauntlet of like, oh, what about this situation and that situation? What about amphetamines in baseball in the 70s? There's always a caveat to everything. And do I think the Judge situation is more special, knowing that he's doing it clean or what we can presume is clean? And I think everybody is on that presumption because he's a monster of a human being. So I think if that dude did steroids, the balls would be hitting people right next to Citi Field. It's the most excitement they'd experience, I think, this week. But I think it's bullshit. I think all these guys deserve to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I think MLB allowed it to happen. Everybody knew what was going on. But to try to sit here now, 20 years later, 21 years later and say like that wasn't exciting and that didn't mean the world to baseball at the time, and we all didn't tune in to watch Mark McGwire or Sammy Sosa play, you're lying. You're being facetious. It was epic. You know what I mean? And does the steroids take away from it? I don't think it takes away from it enough to try to sit here and say that it wasn't amazing, because it's still amazing. You can take steroids all you want. You're not hitting a home run. The average person's not hitting a home run. Is it going to help you hit the ball farther? Sure, it is. You still got to battle that ball. And the fact that the both of them were battling it out to the end for that was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I have to differ with you.
Too bad.
Sorry. Listen. What was amazing was Hank Aaron off Al Downing. That was amazing.
There were even TVs back then?
What was more amazing was that those two white guys that jumped over the fence didn't hit him. I was more shocked about that crap.
And listen to me.
And everybody was terrified when those two white guys jumped over the fence and got near Hank Aaron. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna witness a murder!" Thank God they only patted him on the back.
Yep, because do you know how many death threats he got? Hank Aaron got. If you're gonna beat Babe Ruth's record, the death threats he got.
Well, so did Roger Maris.
Oh no, without a doubt. But you're talking a white guy and a white guy. You're talking about a black guy back in that time.
In Atlanta,
white man's record. The pressure was like unbearable. Just like
I just want to point out, Babe Ruth being white is disputable.
Huh?
Babe Ruth being a white man is disputable.
It is, but I only had black and white, and he wasn't black then on TV. You know what I'm saying? But listen,
not enough contrast.
Judge, the pressure that was mounting on him. 3 games left, 2 games. You know what I mean? Come on, you know what I mean? And then if he didn't get it and just tied it, all the negativity that would have came out. Oh, you had 18 games to hit 3 home runs and you couldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it, but that doesn't. You can't say that takes away or dampens or does anything bad to that Sosa McGwire run was just ridiculous.
You know what? TJ, you're right. It did bring baseball back from the lockout. But you know what? I can't have these guys go into the Hall of Fame knowing that they took stuff knowingly to enhance themselves.
So and we've had this conversation before, and you say you're a purist, so you don't want anybody that could have been accused of steroids to be in the Hall of Fame.
No. What I'm saying as a purist, you know what? They knew it. You know,
baseball knew it. But I'm saying, so do you think they belong in the Hall of Fame?
A blind eye on it. Excuse me.
Do you think they belong in the Hall of Fame?
If they want to put a special wing,
that's not the question. No asterisk, no nothing. Do you don't think they belong in the Baseball Hall of Fame?
If Bond, listen, I told you, Bonds belonged in the Hall of Fame before he took that crap.
Yeah, I agree. He was a Silver Slugger Award winner multiple times at 165 pounds.
No, but that's what I'm saying, son. But you know what? He didn't need that, and I
understand that, but to say, as a purist, to say, all right, what about any MLB pitcher that's in the Hall of Fame right now that could be accused of doctoring the ball or the spitter or putting a little extra pine tar in their hand, or you know what I mean? It's horseshit.
No.
There's always going to be a caveat.
There's a difference. That's gamesmanship.
It's not. It's not gamesmanship. You're trying to get an edge. You're cheating.
No,
you're cheating. You cannot say if you're a purist, you cannot make an excuse for one or not the other.
I don't mean a purist like that. I'm talking about with steroids, sticking a needle in your body.
Well, to be fair,
up.
Just because you do steroids, you still have to put in the work. It's not like you're putting the steroids and you're just like cranking out home runs. You still got to go to the gym and work out.
Listen, I understand that, Nick. And you know what? Steroids is not going to make you hit the ball. You have to hit the ball. But by you taking steroids, that gives you a 15, 20, 30, 40-foot edge on your fly ball to the warning track. Now you become a home run hitter.
So,
how about
my question is, what about the guys that took amphetamine so that they could play every day?
I agree. You know what? They took drugs. But
Mickey Mantle shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
it didn't enhance their game. It just
Of course it
made them
did.
stay up.
Hold on.
Of course it did. No, it's awareness.
Now, come on.
Dude, why is ADHD drugs banned in the MLB? Because it heightens your awareness.
It helps you focus.
Yeah.
You're gonna sit there and what are ADHD medicines? They're all amphetamines.
And then you're going to talk about. Listen, I discussed it. Doc Ellis threw a no-hitter on fucking LSD. You know what I mean? Babe Ruth, after a 10-hour drunk fest, comes in and hits 2 home runs.
I'm sorry. I think
baseball better when they're drunk.
There's always going to be a situation where somebody's going to say that's either fair or not fair. I can sit here and tell you every friggin' home run in Colorado is bullshit because it's not a home run anywhere else. That's not fair.
Well, you can't.
And we've had this discussion before. Of course you can.
Listen to me. You're playing with the confines of where you play.
I get it. Every home run at the Polo Grounds is bullshit. It's a 240-foot shot.
Yeah, but TJ, you got Yankee Stadium, short porch. You got Fenway, the friggin'
There's a difference between a short porch and the Polo Grounds being a joke where people could throw the ball from home plate over the fence.
But that was the time, the era of where they played. Look at Yankee Stadium. You can hit a 5.
He was going to lie. That's why we lost him. He's going to lie. He's going to say something ridiculous.
We lost him. There you go. He's back. He's Blair Witching on us.
But I don't know if you caught that. I said you in Yankee Stadium, old Yankee Stadium, you can hit a 500-foot shot and you can run and catch it if you're fast, or it's going to bounce into the monuments. It's not even going to hit the wall.
I agree. And again, another caveat.
That's just the era we play in at that time.
I get it, but there's always going to be an excuse. There's always going to be a caveat. There's always going to be and we've discussed this. If you ask me, what's worse for baseball and what's more of a cheat, taking steroids or the Houston Astros knowing if a breaking ball or a fastball is coming, any baseball hitter will tell you, if I know what pitch is coming, I will take that any day of the week over steroids. I will take that hungover. I will take that having the flu. If I know a fastball or a breaking ball is coming, that is the biggest cheat in the world. And those sons of bitches don't have an asterisk next to their fucking World Series. And it's bullshit.
I agree with you, but this is the problem. Baseball let them get away with it. Because
I agree.
Why? Because the Players Association had the control. If you would have turned around and did what they did, just say like to the Black Sox, and suspended the whole team for a year, 5 years, whatever, they weren't going to allow that because that would have been a black eye to baseball beyond belief. So what do they do, TJ? They make the manager the scapegoat. They make the general manager the scapegoat.
Let me ask you this. If Altuve has a stellar next 10 years, right?
Right.
Stellar next 10 years, hits 3,000 hits. You think he belongs in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Only because of the fact. Wait. I understand what you're saying, son, but they cheated there as a team. And yeah, you're right. You know what? No, he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame then.
Let's say he hits 3,001 hits. 3,001 hits. How many hits do you think that he had knowledge of what pitch was coming or not coming? Because they weren't just doing that for one game. They weren't doing that in the playoffs. They were doing it. They were doing it for the entire year at the minimum. So you're talking about maybe 200 hits that should be taken away from the guy.
Right. I agree with you.
You don't belong in the Hall of Fame if he hits 3,000.
Listen, he can't get into the Hall of Fame anyway. There's a height requirement.
No,
it is true. We almost didn't make it as just fans.
No, there's a Disabilities Act now, Nick.
They did have a step stool ready for us so we could read all the plaques.
No, but the thing is, it's horrible what they did. They should have banned that entire team, and it should have been an asterisk next to that World Series champion. Listen, they weren't going to take the championship away.
They should have.
They should 100%. And you know what? That would have proved that baseball is trying to be on the up and up. But they didn't. They made the manager the scapegoat. They made the general manager the scapegoat. And they said, okay, that's enough. But you know what? Pitchers' lives were
I'm sorry.
ruined.
I think, those managers shouldn't have been suspended for a year. Those
Yes,
managers and everybody in the front office, a part of it, should have been banned from baseball for life. If Pete Rose is banned for betting on baseball or betting on sports, and the guy is the greatest hitter to ever grace the plate, at least statistically, okay, how can you have a manager that's willing to use technology to cheat, to go out of their way, knowing that they're completely cheating the game of baseball, and they're allowed to come back after a year? They should have been banned from baseball.
Listen, how about you bringing
he was against it.
How about you bringing up a kid pitcher, and they know what he's throwing, and they beat the crap out of him. And what happens? That kid goes back down to the minor leagues and never gets made again. Think about what that happens.
Brad Osmus was against the entire thing.
You know,
you could be against it if you didn't stop it. That's on
going
you.
to so far as to break the TVs that they were watching it on. It's just that the ownership told him to stop.
Right.
So I mean, at that point, you're the manager. Like, what do? You out your team like publicly? You'll never get a job again. You'll never get a job again.
You know what? But Nick, again, now you have a young pitcher come up, get destroyed by them.
I understand that.
And now he doesn't come back up ever again.
But you two are both fathers. And if it means losing your job because you're trying to be righteous and not putting food on the table for your wife and your kids, I mean, sorry, kid, you ain't getting the call back to the show again. If I had to throw in the gauntlet down, it's like, all right, my wife and my kids, or this fucking kid I never met before. I might go side with my wife and my kids today.
But you think
against it.
Did you think he ever walked in that locker room and said, listen, this is the last time I'm going to break those fucking TVs? You guys do this, I'm outing you because you're ruining the integrity of the game, and I won't have it.
No, they
shut the fuck up.
They would fire. They would lose him somewhere, and then he'd have to come out and say something.
That's a hell of a lawsuit.
If he goes against the Astros, right, the management privately, they fire him. And then they're going to tell every other owner why they fired him. And they won't talk about it publicly.
No, and that's when you out them to the MLB and you literally
you're still out of baseball forever.
State your case to evidence, and it doesn't matter. You get a $10 million lawsuit. You're getting your contract. You're getting at least your contract's money, if not more.
$10 million is not what you would have made over the course of your career when you're a young guy. Brad Osmus isn't that old.
And you write a book about how the Houston Astros are bags of shit.
I wouldn't read that shit.
I'd read that book every day.
You don't even know how to read. You Audible.
I know how to read. Barely, but.
We're getting off topic here.
They would have pictures.
We are getting off topic.
They would have pictures of the barrel, the bat, and how they hit it.
So Judge hits the home run. It sucked I had to go to work. I had an incident at work and I had to run to work. And I actually, as soon as I got there, I turned my laptop on and the game started and he hit the home run. My father calls me. My girlfriend calls me. What was that?
I lost you. I'm sorry.
But I caught it and Michael Case said it and it kind of pissed me off. My dad is up from Florida. And I'm kind of ticked off because Michael Case said it. He goes, this is going to be the where were you? One of these where were you moments. And I was at fucking work.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I could have been with my pop.
I think that where were you is more, if you were at that game, more special. You know what I mean?
No, because you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I missed David Cohn and David Wells' perfect games, both of them. My family took me out to dinner or some shit when I was a little kid, and I got home and I caught the post game, and I was like, "Son of a bitch! I missed 2 no-hitters, 2 perfect games. I'll never see this shit again."
So, given that Aaron Judge hit 62, at the end of the day, it's still a home run, right? I mean, they all count. They all have to mean something for it to get to 62. Would you say that that's more of a where are you moment than like Reggie Jackson hitting 3 home runs in 3 consecutive at-bats? I feel like that's more special. I feel like that's more a part of baseball lore and history.
Not at all. I don't, because we always see the video of the guy that broke the record. Always. I've seen Barry Bonds throw his hands up like this 1,000 times hitting that home run. I've seen Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa hug 1,000 times. I've seen friggin', perfect game, the end of a perfect game or the end of a World Series 1,000 times, but like him hitting that 60-second home run, you see, you'll see that forever now. You'll see that forever. For the rest of his career, you're going to see that. You'll see that on Yankee freaking classics forever now. Forever. That's it, you know?
You'll see the first game of the...
We got to get my father better internet, I think.
He's got Spectrum.
You'll see.
You all right, guy?
Blink if you need help.
Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee.
My internet's crapping out. I don't know what's going on.
Stop
Right, you know what? It's because you have an iPhone. That's the problem.
I think he's downloading too much midget porn.
Listen, I mean, that's a real disease that affects a lot of Americans.
Dwarfism?
Porn dwarfism.
Oh, my bad. But
now we got Brian Leach.
But yeah, I think.
Hey, Brian Leach, how do you feel?
Why do you look like you just got caught doing something illegal?
I always get caught doing something illegal.
You look like a perp. Actually, you look like Chunky Steven.
No, I look like somebody that actually has meat on their bones. You know, like a man build. Unlike my little brother. Poor kid.
Fair enough.
I don't know what's going on right now. We're doing a show and tell in my father's house with bad internet.
Sorry.
Whose toy is that?
That's mine.
That's what you look like as a kid?
No, that's actually Dash from The Incredibles.
Listen, good for Aaron Judge. It was a tremendous feat. It's going to go down in history. It's going to spew on this argument of, you know, what's the real home run record and what counts and what doesn't count. And it's an absolute tremendous feat for a tremendous season for him. Hopefully the Yankees can capitalize and use this momentum going into the playoffs and do something with it. I think the next step, the next best thing to add on to this historic season is to then win a World Series with Aaron Judge and, you know, Hal Steinbrenner to stop being a penny pinching bitch and give the guy whatever the hell he wants to keep him on this team.
Show him the money.
Stacks and stacks of cash.
Because
anything short of Aaron Judge staying here for the remainder of his career is not going to be met well with at least real Yankee fans. And I said this weekend to my cousins that are diehard Yankee fans. I said, I will 110% blame you guys if you continue to show up to Yankee games and spend money in that stadium if the Yankees don't spend the money to keep Aaron Judge.
Yeah, but the longest is they don't make money off of people going to the stadium. They make money off TV deals. That's why they're on Apple.
Well, you know what? They should be embarrassed by people not showing up.
You're right. You're right. But unfortunately, it's not like football where if you don't go to the stadium, it's not on TV.
Right.
I want to ask you a question about Judge. How special is his year, being that this is his walk year for free agency?
That's baller. That's big balls right there. When you walk into the season, they offer you a pretty lucrative deal, and you're like, nah.
Exactly.
And the season started, and everybody was just like, I bet you he wishes he took that deal now. And that just goes to show you the recency bias and people just being short-sighted on what exactly and how exactly long a baseball season is. Because like 2 weeks into the season, I don't think he had hit a home run yet. And everybody was sitting there going, I bet you he wishes he signed that deal now.
54 at bats before his first home run.
That's what, 10 games roughly?
Yeah, roughly.
Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. He started off very slow.
Good for him.
And you know what?
Absolutely.
What did Cuba Gooding and Juden say?
Show me the money. Yep, absolutely. I agree.
They better pay him. They better pay him.
Listen, I don't think he'll walk.
I do.
I honestly think that there's going to be a couple of teams out there that are going to try and pry him away.
I tell you right now, if the Dodgers offer him $430 million and the Yankees say we can only pay you $350,
he's gone.
He's gone. He's gone. 100%. He's gone.
How about San Diego too? Dude, you got Soto, Machado, Judge. Their pitching staff is coming just in
We're
time
losing
for
again.
the playoffs. And I'm not going to say that they're going to go far, but you know what? You never know.
The funniest thing I saw
Think
this
about
weekend. The funniest thing I saw this weekend was Met fans sitting there in their misery, tweeting at Steve Cohen, you better offer Judge $500 million, bring him over. It's like, dude, it doesn't matter. You can bring everybody you want to bring in. They'll always turn out like Jason Bay, and you'll always turn out losing and fucking blowing it at the end. Sorry. It's the Mets way. Deal with it.
Yeah. Hey, he could be the second coming of Mo Vaughn.
Yeah.
But I think he ends up with the Yankees or with the Giants, honestly. He grew up as a Giants fan.
Big Giant fan.
Giants they're looking for their next Bonds. You know, that's what's going to bring them notoriety and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, the Giants bringing in somebody else that can put some balls in the water and have some people out there in kayaks. Why the hell not?
Well, I mean, that's in left field. I mean, right field, and he's
Right
right-handed.
field.
Odds of him doing that are kind of
They're slim, but you know what?
It'll happen.
He may do it on a good day. He might be able to get one out.
if the wind's blowing out.
Blown out? Sure.
But yeah, playoffs start what, tomorrow? Day after tomorrow?
Friday?
Friday. Thursday or Friday, yeah. Tomorrow. No, what's today? The 5th? I think the 7th.
So yeah, playoffs start. Yeah, wow, Friday. Yep.
Friday, 7th. Right?
Yep. We got the Rays against the Guardians, the Phillies against the Cardinals, the Mariners against the Blue Jays, and the Padres against the Mets. My money is on the Mets only because I saw these terrible, terrible video that these dirty, disgusting Padres fans made. And because I saw it, I'm going to make you guys see it too. It was the most, I don't even know how to describe it. Disturbing? Yeah.
Did they go to Bobby Bonilla's house and beat him up?
Wait, what's that?
So did they show up at Bobby Bonilla's house and beat him up?
No. Watch this. This is you're just gonna be very upset about this, TJ. Just be prepared. You are forewarned. You're going to be upset about this.
Slam Diego Love. San Diego loves the Padres. San Diego loves the Padres. Now, welcome everybody to the NL West, where the SC Padres are simply the best. Dr. fans at Harvard, but we know you're all pressed. That fan hopped on the five and drove out when he left. We're America's finest city, full of smog and ash. When you turn movement, you just pick our track. In Petco, the nicest place you've ever seen. Feeling like you're getting stabbed outside of Riverbeat. I've seen heroes try to make their own Play-Doh, but they still choke us in Kershaw. Looking at that forecast, hold on, dear, to keep you from 2022 and El Nino year.
That's enough of that.
I mean, this shit like this makes me really support white people getting beat up for no reason.
Disclaimer: TJ's white, so in case you're listening to this on audio, that was a white man.
I think everybody can get behind beating those two douche rockets up. I think we can come together as a community of sports fans and just kick the living shit out of these two nerds. Like, what are you fucking doing with your life? Like, both of their fathers probably was like, oh, God, why didn't we have daughters?
They should just have what's that guy, the trumpet guy for the Mets, the closer, that trumpet guy? They should just have him play trumpet to these two guys in a closed room all day.
Oh, my God. Oh, that. I need to take a fucking shower. I feel dirty.
You know how we talk about, fans of teams that talk a lot of shit. You get upset about Met fans with this, right? Padres fans got no legs to stand on with that bullshit.
No.
Zero.
Especially talking shit to Dodgers fans. Like, stop.
Listen, Tony Gwynn is gone. It's over.
How did they turn Juan Soto into a bad player?
Fact. Oh my God!
But you know what? Listen, the Padres are coming around.
Listen,
win.
At the end of the day, when people travel in droves to San Diego to visit a zoo overseeing your fucking team, you know your team ain't nothing.
You know how I knew the Padres were trash? When Ed Kroc, who made burgers and fries most popular food in America, couldn't turn their franchise around. Ed Kroc made it popular for you not to get service. Just want to point that out. Like the whole premise of McDonald's was like, you don't have a waiter to bring you your food. Get your own fucking food. It's literally the premise of McDonald's. Get up and get your own damn food. And he made that work, but he couldn't make the Padres work.
Listen, but he did land Steve Garvey.
Did what with it?
Listen, Popeye Arms. You don't remember Popeye Arms? Oh, wait. You were probably 2.
I don't think I was born yet.
Speaking about born, I wish those 2 Padres fans weren't born. Jesus.
Go back in time. You can kill one person.
Listen, I mean, you want to bring people together on a political view. I think everybody would get around abortion if we can late term abort those 2 fucks.
At this point, I think at this point it's called murder.
No, I think we could do little one time
exception of policy.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Like there should be consequences to doing making content like that. Not that we make the greatest content in the world, but like if somebody came out of the woodwork and Tanya Harding, one of those fucking people, oh my God, that person would get a parade at least.
We should have probably watched that video to the end. Somebody probably did come by with a pipe and crack one of them in the head.
I hope guys, they were walking off from fucking doing that, they were robbed. I hope the person that uploaded that video did it out of a joke because they now have those 2 kids' phone. And it's just taunting them. It's so bad. It's so bad. That's the worst thing I've seen today.
Both those kids got so many wedgies in high school.
It's wedgies, swirlies.
And high school, and you know what's crazy is that's like TV bullying. That's not real bullying, but they probably actually had it happen to them.
God, that just that
puts you
can't get it off me. I can't get it off me now. It's
like 2 girls, 1 cup.
Worse, way worse.
Hey Nick,
yeah.
All I gotta say to you is, sweet dreams, son. You just ruined the country.
Jesus,
Jack Nicholson, classic.
Listen, wait, when they're trying to friggin' recruit people to ISIS, they show that shit. Like, this is why we hate America. And everybody's like, it's fair.
So my executive officer for my company is he's British. Great guy. I like him a lot. But obviously he's American now because he's in the American military. But he's got a British accent because he was from England. You know, he got a scholarship in America and decided to stick around. And I saw something on Facebook the other day and said, I just heard a British person call Oreos chocolate sandwich biscuits. And I finally understand why the Revolutionary War had to happen. And I sent that to him. And I said, I need some clarity on if this is true. And he goes, it is true. And I said, never call Oreos that in my presence, sir.
I forget what the word is.
You know what they are? I said, don't. I just sent him a picture of a Popeye's biscuit and Cookie Monster. I'm like, these are cookies. Oreos are not biscuits. Damn you, British people.
I forget what the word is. Like, I obviously it ruins the joke, but somebody in Britain posted something like, why in America do you use 2 L's in this word? And in Britain, why in America you only have 1 L in this word? And in Britain, we use 2. And somebody posted, well, we gave you that second L during the Revolutionary War. I wish I knew the word, dude. I was like, all right. There's no coming back from that. You have to delete your account.
I love our British friends, but I still can't figure out how they spell jail. Gaol. And when you're reading it, you're just like, Gal. He got locked up in the Gal. What the hell is a Gal? I think that's a great place to end. That's our show for tonight.
It should have ended 5 minutes before you showed me that video. I'm gonna have fucking nightmares now. I'm calling out sick from work tomorrow. I finally understand the need for a safe space. Jesus.
You need a comfort dog.
Comfort dog. I'm gonna go inside and watch the Teletubbies and fucking paint rainbows, or get some Bob Ross on there to get the feels back. You know what I mean?
He's gonna get in the shower. He's gonna go in the shower and hug his knees.
Yeah, like the crying game, dude. Like,
He's gonna be in a fetal position.
Oh my God, that's worse than the Finkel's Einhorn situation.
His wife's gonna reach to touch him, and he's gonna shudder.
Yeah.
No. God, I mean, Jesus.
But that's us from the Scoreboard Addicts podcast. I'm Nick.
Ruin my night.
I got Little Tom and I got Big Tom tonight on the show. Big Tom, thanks for coming by.
No
I
problem.
envy Rook floating in the Rio Grande right now.
TJ, what was that? I love that line you said. You want these guys to fall down a never-ending staircase?
Yeah.
Classic. Thanks for spending this time with us. We'll catch you again next week.
Good night.
Hopefully, Rook can make an appearance. Thanks for being with us.
Maybe.
Good night.